23-year-old right-hander Jeremy Hellickson's 2010 season a smashing success. Called to the bigs on August 2nd, Hellickson won his first 3 decisions. Today, Jeremy makes his 2011 debut versus hard-throwing right-hander Dan Herron and the Angels. Catch all the action on Sun Sports. This afternoon, we welcome you to Tropicana Field, where the Rays will wrap up their first homestand of the year and complete the 2-game set as the Rays play host to the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you with us. Todd Callis along throughout the day as well. The Rays are looking for offense anywhere they can find it all spring, Brian. They were encouraged by the way B.J. Upton swung the bat. He has carried that over into the regular season, including a home run last night.
No, before the season, when you talked about the Rays and the keys to the season, you say if they're going to contend, B.J. Upton has to have a big year. Well, so far, he's kept up his end of the bargain. He's the only Ray. You see the season numbers right there. Had the big 2-run homer last night, but the only Ray to hit in all 4 games. You like that consistency out of B.J. Upton. Continues to play tremendous defense. So at this point, he just needs to say, get some of his teammates and say, hey, guys, over here where the hits are, it's not a bad place to be. Invite some of them over.
That's absolutely correct, because this homestand has been dominated by good pitching. And we have another great matchup today, starting with Jeremy Hellickson.
Yeah, Jeremy Hellickson, impressive about this young kid as he comes up last year in the middle of a pennant race. He gets 4 starts. How about that? A 3-0 record, an ERA barely over 2. The strikeout to walk ratio 25-4. Very businesslike, shows very little emotion out on the mound. You look for the keys for him today. Fastball command is paramount. Changeup and breaking ball work off of that. And he better have that going, because this is a very, very good pitcher here. Dan Herron, very consistent through the years. Got off to a little bit of an uneven start last year. 7-8 with a 4.60 earned run average with Arizona. He gets traded over to the Angels, and you see what he did there. The 5-4 record, the other number's outstanding. The 5-4 record, more of a byproduct of a lack of run support than anything else. He threw the ball very well for the Angels closing out last year and in his first start this year.
Yeah, and if the Rays pitchers know what lack of support's all about, they only need to consult Dan Herron. But you have an idea that before this year is out, that'll probably change with this Angels ball club. Rays and the Angels coming up just moments away. First pitch coming up after this.
Homestand this afternoon from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Certainly the Rays were hoping for a better start than 0-4 and only 6 runs through 4 games. So everybody's question right now is what's going on with the offense, as the Rays have just a 138 team batting average. After the game last night, B.J. Upton and Johnny Damon were looking for the answer.
It seems like, every day we come out here, man, we're hitting the ball hard. Just feels like we keep hitting it right at them, man. So, we just got to dig a little bit deeper, keep having the good at-bats, and like I said before, eventually they're going to fall.
At this time, it's very easy to soak your head and start saying why, but you know what? That team over there is trying to win also. For every successes in this game, there's a failure. Unfortunately, we've failed the first 4. We have 158 to go. We will be better than what we've been showing.
The thoughts of B.J. Upton and Johnny Damon after the game last night. Now, today is our first installment of a Website Wednesday, and in case you forgot from last season, that means you can log on to foxsportsflorida.com and click on the Rays link to ask your question of those 2 guys who have turned the book around, and now they're reading it right side up. And I believe that's an MRE over Dwayne's shoulder, too. So we have all kinds of fun stuff happening today in the broadcast booth. Look at that. We are ready to go. Meals are ready to eat. Baseball is ready to be played. And we are ready for action in high definition from Tropicana Field. We'll have the starting lineup and first pitch as we wrap up the homestand on a Website Wednesday next.
Baseball is brought to you by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, by AT and by Toyota. Moving forward. From the Trop this afternoon, the Rays and the Angels again. The Angels won the first game last night 5-3, and so the Rays, before they hit the road, trying to salvage a win on this initial homestand. Los Angeles with Historis leading off, followed by Kendrick and then Abreu. Torrey Hunter will hit cleanup in front of Vernon Wells. Alberto Callaspo is at third. He'll hit sixth in front of the first baseman Mark Trumbo. Jeff Mathis will do the catching, and Brandon Wood at shortstop. Wood hits ninth.
Right-hander Jeremy Hellickson making his first start of the season this afternoon. A very good year last year in AAA. You see what he did with the big club. 10 games, those 4 starts. He went 3-0 with an ERA barely over 2. Gotta love the strikeout to walk ratio, 4-1. Fastball command, that's the key for Jeremy Hellickson. He's going to be working with about 90 to 100 pitches. Look for him to try to be efficient early in this ball game. Let's take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up this afternoon, left to right in the outfield. Fold, Upton, and Joyce across the infield, third to first. Lopez, Brignac, Zobrist, and Johnson. John Jaso behind the plate.
And we're all set to play baseball. Hellickson, just 23 years old. Calm, cool, and collected, but admits that he does feel a little of that nervousness making his first start, and he throws a strike. But by looking at him, you would never know it.
I was going to say, you know, he's very, very businesslike, got a calm demeanor out on the mound, and very rarely do you see emotion out of this kid. But if you're not feeling a little bit of something in your first start of the season, then you're almost not human.
He has the jump on Asturias. 1-2. Asturias at shortstop last night. Had a base hit and a stolen base. And he is the DH here this afternoon. And is out on strikes. So Hellickson takes care of the leadoff man. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, that entire at bat was set up by the first pitch fastball middle in. And then all of a sudden he gets ahead of him, 2 strikes with a fastball in the outer third, takes it a little bit further out, and you see the swing there by Asturias. Standing flat-footed, reaching out for that pitch. Not really sure where Jeremy was going to go.
Now here's Kendrick.
It's just a snapshot on why pitching in is so important. Very important for Jeremy Hellickson, but for all pitchers, really. If you're able to pitch in effectively and make a hitter respect that, you'll get those swings.
And he just missed the edge there. The count is a ball and a strike. Well, and Kendrick is one of the real tests for any Rays pitcher. If you can get him out, that might bode well, because that has been a problem. His career average against the Rays is, look at that, 443.
And that's not in a weekend series.
No, that's 97 official at bats and over 100 plate appearances. Now 3-1. Started the year hitting in all 5 Angel games so far. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, Jeremy Hellickson does not have power plus stuff where he's just going to go out and blow you away, but he's got a way about him out there. He does a nice job of hiding the baseball, and he's so calm and slow with everything that that ball, because of the good changeup that he has a tendency to jump on you a little bit.
And it's outside. He did not chase that one for ball 4. Kendrick is aboard.
Well, you see how deliberate Jeremy Hellickson is. Very simple mechanics. Standing straight up, really nothing to it. But because of the easy, smooth mechanics, combined with that good changeup and the good arm speed on it, that fastball has a tendency to jump on hitters, even though he's only throwing it 90, 91 miles an hour.
Here's Bobby Abreu.
I say only because anymore I think you have to throw 90 to even qualify to be a big leaguer.
Runner takes off, and the pitch is lined toward the corner in right field. Joyce will have to go get it. Kendrick will be waved around, and he's going to score without any difficulty, crossing the plate standing up. And on the double by Abreu, the Angels take a 1-0 lead.
Now this was just a fastball trying to come in. Bobby Abreu still quick enough to be able to turn on that pitch. Didn't quite get it all the way in, and Howie Kendrick looking to steal that bag. Once that ball gets into the corner, he could have walked in.
So it's been a fast start for Abreu at the plate.
Well, too, that's where you've got to know as a starting pitcher, when you sit down with your catcher before the game, that's where you have to have an idea of what a hitter is looking for. You we talked, right off the bat about Jeremy Hellickson pitching in, and certainly you need to do that. But when you've got a guy like Bobby Abreu up at the plate that's got good gap-to-gap power, can hit the ball out of the yard, first pitch fastball in maybe not be the best thing to do, because that's a pitch where if you miss just a little bit, it's going to get hammered.
And there's a breaking ball.
That's where those guys typically like the ball, especially with the runner on base. They're looking for the ball middle in. That's where Abreu got it. How about that slider? Run out of bat.
2 strikes the count to Hunter. And they'll try it again to take care of him. Strikes him out. The breaking pitch got him. 2 gone.
And Hellickson, another breaking ball here. This one at 77. Curveball. Location was even better than the break. You see Hunter. He thinks he's right on that pitch and comes up empty.
Now the center fielder is Vernon Wells. Wells moving over to center. Borges not in the lineup. Wells, who played left last night, is in center field today. Well, more of the breaking stuff. A strike on that first pitch.
Little recognition of the middle of the Angel lineup. Suspect them of being aggressive, especially 2 outs, a runner in scoring position.
Just a bit wide with that one. 1-1. There's a fastball for a strike. 1-2. Walk and a double, producing a run. 2 outs. Abreu at second base. Wells fouls the breaking pitch. Count still 1-2. Call. The fastball finds the corner in. He strikes out the side, gives up a walk, a double, and a run. And we go to the bottom of the first. Los Angeles 1, Rays coming in to hit. Wrapping up the homestand, Joe Madden's lineup will feature John Jaso in the leadoff spot, followed by Johnny Damon, and then Ben Zobrist, Dan Johnson. It's cleaned up in front of B.J. Upton, and then Matt Joyce, Felipe Lopez at third base, Reed Brignac at short. Sam Poole will hit ninth and play left field.
Right-hander Dan Herron making his second start of the season. Pitched very well his first time out against the Royals. Gave up just 1 run in 7 innings. You see what he did last year. Those 35 starts, 235 innings. This is a guy who has not missed a start since 2005. He became a full-time starter.
To the strike, he has been a workhorse. He had, as you mentioned, those 35 starts last year combined between Arizona and the Angels, and that's a career high for him. And he pitched 231 innings, and that's a career high for him. But he's almost every year just a cinch 200+ innings guy. It's inside.
And he's got a fastball that he'll run up there low to mid-90s. Good run on it. You saw that last pitch there was a cutter. He'll use that to both left-handed and right-handed hitters.
Jaso pounds it back.
The thing that makes Dan Herron so successful is not only the fact that he's going to take the ball every 5 days, he's got good stuff and knows how to pitch, but unpredictable. This is a guy, any pitch in any count, you can never be comfortable with what he's going to throw you.
Jaso bounds it back. And he's a guy who went to college at Pepperdine and really went there as a hitter and not a pitcher. And they needed pitching. He was there with Noah Lowry. Pretty good. It turns out a pretty good tandem of college pitchers. But he thought of himself as a hitter first until he got to college.
I think most pitchers do.
Oh, a line drive, but right to the first baseman, Trumbo, for the out. Jaso hit the ball hard.
Now let's take a look at the Angel defense. Left to right in the outfield, Bobby Abreu, Vernon Wells, and Torrey Hunter across the infield, third to first. Alberto Callaspo, Brandon Wood, Howie Kendrick, and Mark Trumbo. Jeff Mathis gets the call behind the plate this afternoon.
That's Johnny Damon. Damon, the DH, back in the lineup in last night's game, had a single and a walk and a stolen base. 0-2. We have a couple pitchers today interesting to watch with their stuff and their ability to change speeds off pitches. And Damon is out on strikes. Swung right over that pitch.
Now Dan Herron making short work of Johnny Damon with a couple of different pitches. How about that? That's the split finger. After the backdoor breaking ball, he goes with the split. You saw it's got late dive action down and away from a left-hander. That is his put-away strikeout pitch.
Now Ben Zobrist. Down and in. Ben in the third spot. A home run and a double so far. One, he hit every place in the lineup last year, I think, except for ninth. With Longoria out, he's dropped from the leadoff spot against right-handed pitching to third.
Now anything to try to give this offense a spark. Ben Zobrist, switch hitter, got some pop. 27 home runs a couple years ago.
Swings over that one.
Well, you see what makes Dan Herron so effective. You know, he went with a curveball that he got a called strike on, then went to a split on the 1-1 count away, then comes with a slider down and in. That's what makes him so dangerous, is his unpredictability.
And is out on strikes, and boy, that looked like a split. It's so tough to get a good cut at any of those pitches. We're at the end of 1-0.
Manny, I think, is just trying to carry us a little bit too much right now. I asked him to kind of back off today, and he's going to tomorrow. He's going to miss tomorrow's game also because of a personal matter that he has our full support with. So, yes, I just want Manny to be Manny, have a good time, run hard to first base, and hit when it's appropriate.
And, guys, that leads us to our first questions of the day on Website Wednesday. Ronnie wants to know about Manny's average, and Danny wants to know if you think it's related to Evan Longoria's injury. Chad also wants to know what you guys think about the fans booing Manny in last night's game, guys.
All right. Some great topics right there, right off the beginning. There's a strike to Callaspo to open the second inning. Angels got a run in the first. That's 6 consecutive first pitch strikes by Hellickson, by the way, which is not unusual for him. That pitch down and in. The count 1-1. Well, you heard Joe Madden, Brian, addressing the Manny situation, and it was a surprise that he was not in the lineup. His lifetime numbers against Dan Herron, 19 for 38 with 3 home runs and 6 walks in that stretch. And so you would hope that he might be in the lineup. But you heard Madden say that he thought, well, you know, he was pressing a little bit, and so he's not going to be in the lineup today.
Yeah, and that was a surprise. We talked about it even yesterday. Hey, look at these numbers with Manny Ramirez off Dan Herron. You kind of look forward to an offense that's been struggling.
And there's Callaspo out in front of that changeup. 4 strikeouts for Hellickson.
You see it right here. When you got a good changeup like James Shields we saw from him, you can keep that pitch out over the heart of the plate, let the late action take it below the bat. But yeah, when you have an offense, you know, Dwayne, that's struggling, you want to get every advantage that you can. And you certainly, with those numbers from Manny Ramirez, you would like to have seen him in there, but he's not, and you've got to make do. Someone else needs to step up. That's been kind of the story of this short beginning of the season.
And you heard also Madden say that he's not going to go to Chicago with the club. He's going to join the team up there because of a personal matter.
Yeah.
They respect that and support him, as you heard Madden say. We have no idea what that's about, but there was a situation in the spring where he needed to go home for a personal situation, and so a similar situation here. 2-1, and the other part of the questions that Todd fielded for us there had to do with we heard some boos of Manny in last night's game here. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. High fly ball back into left. Full going back to the track. That ball's got some carry, but not enough. And Full makes the catch right in front of the wall to retire Trumbo. High towering fly ball. My take on any player who is booed. We'll take a replay look here at this long fly ball. Trumbo with that kind of power.
Had a lot of.
I think it's difficult to boo a guy based on results.
Right.
Now, if a guy's not giving you effort, if he's not running out a ground ball, if he's not running hard after a ball, if he's not taking batting practice and he's not working, that's another matter. I think fans, you know, you pay your money, you have a right, I guess, to do anything that you want within the limits of civilized behavior. Yep. But my take on it is, if a guy's giving you effort and you're a fan, you're rooting for that guy and you want him to succeed, and he's not failing because he wants to. If it's lack of effort, that's something else. And here's a guy, Ramirez, who was showing up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the spring hitting. The teammates say that he's a guy who hits. Boy, there's a change up again, or a little change off the breaking ball, and he had Kurt Mathis out in front. 1, 2, 3, go the Angels. More on all of that when we come back. One nothing. The Angels lead the Rays as the Rays face Dan Herron. Dan Johnson leads it off against him. Takes a soft pitch in there for a strike, a breaking ball. A lot of strikeouts early here. Hellickson has 5 through the first 2, and Herron had 2 strikeouts in the first. There's a pop to the left side, and Wood at shortstop is under it, making the catch, 1 out. We just didn't give you a chance to say anything about the Manny Ramirez situation.
Oh, I would love to blame that on you, Dwayne, for hogging up the entire inning, but I think that was more of Jeremy Hellickson's fault for being so efficient and quick. No, you know what? I think you're absolutely hit the nail on the head. It's the lack of effort that drives you crazy. Whether it's, you know, in the dugout, in the stands, up in the booth, you know, physical errors are going to happen. Performance, some, you know, nights, guys are better than you. They're going to beat you. The lack of effort is what really gets you. So, you know, that's what, you know, I look at when you want to bring something up, lack of effort. You talked about some of the stuff he did in spring training. What about, you know, asking to go on trips that he didn't necessarily need to go on or was scratched from? You know, this was a guy who came in bound and determined to get off to a good start and have a good season for the Rays. And as far as the booing last night, all I can tell you is it was one of those moments where you're not expecting it, all of a sudden it starts to happen, and you cringe. I mean, just cringe like this. Please tell me that this isn't happening in Game 4 of the season. I know it's been a frustrating start, but I think certainly premature with that kind of behavior.
Yeah. 2-1 now, the count. And to me, it just, the dividing line is effort.
Yeah.
You know, you should be upset if there's not the effort. You should be let down. All of that. But if there's the effort and a guy's striking out or a guy's giving up a home run or whatever it is, I don't see the validity in booing from a fan's point of view.
I mean, hit a ground ball to shortstop and lollygag down to first. Okay,
yeah,
you let him hear it. Let him hear it. I mean, you've got to run 3 or 4 times hard every single night. That's about it. So you give that effort. You want to lollygag down to first. Just like that word lollygag.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to spell it. Upton is out on strikes, so that's 3 strikeouts now for Herron.
Well, both pitchers here in the early going making their pitches. Look at that slider. I mean, that is just a perfect slider. Outer third, breaks it right to the corner, keeps it knees and below. There's nothing you can do with that pitch. Can't take it with 2 strikes. Can't hit it.
Matt Joyce. It's a little low. Well, both these pitchers, and you mentioned the variety of pitches that Herron will throw any pitch at any time. And Hellickson the same way with changing speeds. You know, whether it's his change up or maybe changing speeds off a breaking ball, but he'll change speeds at any time.
Well, that makes it so tough for the hitter. I mean, in the case of Dan Herron, you know, you can get, as a hitter, you can get into a good count, a 3-1 count, a 2-1 count.
How about that right there?
There you go. He did the
2-0 the count.
He did the same thing to Ben Zobrist. You fall behind in the count as a hitter. You're aggressive. You've got the count in your favor. You're expecting, okay, fastball, I can eliminate some pitches. Wrong. He'll throw it. Slider.
And a shot back to center field. Wells will go back in front of the track to make the catch, and that retires the Rays in order in the second. On to the third. 1-0 Angels. You can get the best seats, biggest savings, and all the fantastic benefits by becoming a Rays season ticket holder. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com today. Jeremy Hellickson, 2 innings, has given up a hit, a walk, and a run, and has 5 strikeouts.
And looks extremely excited about it.
Yes, doesn't he? I mean, he looks nervous, doesn't he? I mean, it's fun to hear him say, well, sure, I'm gonna be a little nervous. But you'd have no idea.
And never change your facial expression.
There's a ground ball off the bat of Brandon Wood, and Brignac at short handles it. Yeah, I mean, you almost want to check his pulse. He's so calm.
They do on plane rides. So they have it every half hour. When the trainers comes back and just leans over, grabs that, and makes sure that he's still cooking.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's amazing. He's a likable young man. He's from Iowa. Who's from Iowa that's not likable, number one? I mean, and he's the only guy the Rays, I think, have ever had from Iowa. Sturis takes a strike.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way that he handles himself, perfect mound demeanor. I mean, he sets up perfectly for being a pitcher. You have to have a short memory and be able to put things out of your mind very, very quickly, move from pitch to pitch. And
well, you know, he has mannerisms that, and I'm always reluctant to do this. When Longoria came up and you saw how he handled himself at third, I go, you know, he handles himself like Mike Schmidt. It's unfair to a young player really to do that, and so you don't really mean to do that, but to watch some of his mannerisms right there, that's a Greg Maddux mannerism right there.
Well,
and he has that same calm, collected, cool manner on the hill. And the thing I always loved about Maddux, and I had the privilege of seeing him when he first came up when I was on the Cubs crew, and Maddux and Moyer and those guys came up. Matter of fact, Davey Martinez came up. He was a skinny little kid. Came up with Moyer at the same time. But I'll tell you, Maddux was the same way, and I always felt that Maddux, whatever he was competing against you in, whether it was marbles or baseball or whatever, he's going to figure out a way to win. And I think Hellickson has some of that in him.
Well, look at his minor league numbers.
Yeah.
49-16 career minor league. I mean, that's all he's done is win at every level. And you know, you compare how his mound presence, also the way he pitches. I mean, you know, Greg Maddux is a great guy to follow the way he pitches, the way he moves the ball in and out, change speeds, try to keep the ball off the barrel.
Ground ball headed up the middle. And Sturis is aboard. So the Angels collect their second hit. One out base hit in the third. And now Howie Kendrick. But again, we're back around to the real test. Can a Rays pitcher retire Howie Kendrick? He walked his first time, and they turned that into a run. Ball one.
Well, Dwayne, I think this is the at-bat. I think this is the at-bat it gets done, and I'm going to say twofer. Not just get Howie Kendrick out. I'm going to say getting 2 outs. One swing at the bat.
All right. An attempt at clairvoyance.
I mean, the Rays are due.
Yeah.
Would you not say?
Yes. And then they would be due to score a few runs, too.
I feel their first lead of the season coming on real soon.
They are. 2-0. That's right. The Rays have not led through their first 4 games. Coming into this game, hitting 138. Well, you know, if you look at it, one way to look at it is, you know, it's going to get better because there's no way they could hit 138 all year. So it will get better. And, you know, you look at the teams, the Red Sox, the Astros, and the Rays, winless so far. And, you know, the Astros were an improved club under Brad Mills, particularly the second half last year. Everybody picked the Red Sox to just, I mean, they were penciling in, they were going to walk away with the East. And people figure the Rays will contend. So it's early. You got less than a week into the season. Two and one to hint to Howie Kendrick. And he drops that in there. Strike. Curveball. 2-2. You know the other thing about Hellickson, because he'll throw a fastball and a changeup and a curveball. He'll throw the slider. It gets a little slurvy at times. And then he'll change speeds off the curveball, too.
Yeah, I think that's by design, when he wants to jump on a slider and throw it hard and make it short and tight. And then other times you really don't want to go to the curveball, but how about that in between? That's kind of what we saw last night from Jared Weaver, the way that he uses his breaking ball so effectively.
Stewart is the runner at first. 2-2 count to Kendrick with Abreu on deck. And a ground ball second. Zobrist will have to take it to first. Stewart moves into second, and Kendrick is out of there. Zobrist to Johnson. 2 outs. Let's take a look here. Here are the undefeated teams. Texas off to that great start. Reds and the Orioles. The Orioles 4-0. And then the Rays, Red Sox, and the Astros each 0-4.
We talked about how well the Orioles pitched in that first series here against the Rays. Their starters' earned run average through those 4 games is .69. Obviously leading all of baseball.
Yeah, and the Texas offense just knocking down the fences. Here's Abreu. Jumped on a first pitch his last time up. Lined a double to the right field corner, chasing home a run. Down and in this time with the breaking ball. Abreu technically a Ray for a very short time. It seemed like a matter of seconds in the expansion draft, and then he was dealt for Kevin Stocker. Pickoff play at second with Brignac sneaking in behind, and Esteuras just managed to get back.
We've seen this a lot from the Rays in the early going. Pitchers actively throwing to bases. That was a little timing issue. Jeremy Hellickson will give a look back to home plate. And on the catcher's command, spin and throw.
You could see a little daylight between Brignac and the runner there as Brignac cut to his left.
Well, you got a couple different plays there. You've got, sometimes you're looking back at second base, looking at the runner. Brignac will break in behind him, and when you see daylight between him and the runner, that's why it's called the daylight play. You'll spin and throw. Another one, you have the head looking towards home plate, and the catcher may drop his glove, or it's a timing play that's put on from the bench most of the time, and that involves the pitcher looking back, and then he's going to pick up home plate. Runner out there thinks he's pretty safe, and then it's a timing play, and it's called by the catcher.
Three 3-0. Abreu red hot to start the year. He had that 5-for-5 and 2-walk game against Kansas City on Sunday. Doesn't happen very often. 3 times in Angel history. That would span 50 years. The strike is 3-1. Brian Downing reached in 7 plate appearances in '87, and Albie Pearson in their first year in June of 1961 reached 7 times in 8 plate appearances. So that tells you that the Angels in those games had to score a lot of runs even when they went to extra innings, and yet they lost 2 of those 3 games. 3-1 the count now to Abreu. And he lifts a foul the other way. Full giving it a shot, but it's going to be out of play. Sam, of course, made that great catch in the Baltimore series when he stumbled over the bullpen mound and went down, still managed to make the catch and hang on. A full count to Abreu. Angels scored a run in the first. Abreu drove it home. Up here in the third with a man in scoring position and 2 outs. Ellickson's 3-2, and he got him. He struck him out, had him out in front on the change. So strikeout number 6 on the day for Ellickson. Bottom of the third coming, 1-0 Angels.
Available dates are going fast, so act now to make your private group reservation behind the Rays bullpen by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or online at raysbaseball.com.
Third inning underway with Felipe Lopez taking the first pitch low for a ball. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Well, Lopez will get some playing time at third base with Longoria out. It's 1-2. Sean Rodriguez will get some playing time over at third base as well. Wide right there, 2-2. And a strike over the inside edge. That is out number 1 and strikeout number 4. Let's check in with Todd. Todd.
Hey, Dwayne, it's Website Wednesday. As you know, for fans, they can ask you guys questions by logging on to FoxSportsFlorida.com, then clicking on the Rays link. We have a couple of comments from guys named Matt. Matt number 1 wants to tell Brian, don't get your hopes up for the MREs. He's had the omelet before. He said it's not very good. And Matt number 2 says that Davey's beard, as we just saw Davey Martinez, he's wondering if Davey's beard is messing with the Rays' mojo early. early, and that's the problem for the 0-4 start, guys.
Wow, we're really looking, aren't we? I mean,
it's so early.
When you hit 138, they're going to do something strange in the neighborhood.
Looking for any excuse. I think Davy's beard, although extremely impressive. I mean, it was a little raggedy during spring training. He's tightened it up. He's got it smoothed down. There's been a lot of work put into that thing. I don't know how much longer that stays. I mean, let's be honest. The team's not off to a great start, and it's getting ready to heat up around these parts.
Well, if it doesn't stay, we've got to connect the elimination of that beard to a charitable cause.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
That would be the only way to do it. Brignac reaching for it. Misses, ball popping away. And Mathis has to go down to first to complete the put out on that strikeout. So Trumbo will get a put out. And that's strikeout number 5. Had 11 strikeouts so far. We're not through 3, 11 between these two starting pitchers.
And it gets Reed with the split finger, and it's when that's your best chance for a base runner. You know the guy out there on the mound is throwing the ball extremely well.
Here's Sam Fuld, and there's a strike. And Fuld a bunting threat. Fastball will come in at third base. Fuld takes this pitch a little wide. 1-1. Full check. 2-1. Foul out of play. The count is 2-2. He works a full count. Center field, a base hit. Sam Fuld picks up his first Rays hit. He got it just to the left of Wood and threw into center field. So he worked the count all the way to 3-2 and has hit number 1 for the Rays.
Well, Sam Fuld is not a free swinger, big power guy. He small ball, good speed, good disciplined approach at the plate. And here full count, gets a fastball that's elevated a little bit away from him. Goes right back up the middle. You see it choked up a little bit on the bat. Able to squeeze it by Brandon Wooden into center field.
So here's Jaso. Full bluffing a little start. And Herron steps back.
Yeah, trying to time up Dan Herron there. His time to the plate. Rays maybe here with 2 outs. Sam Fuld, good base runner, looking to get something going.
Well, Herron, he'll take base runners seriously over there now.
Yeah.
So if you're going to steal, you're going to have to time him up.
Well, hey, if we're up here talking about it, you can believe that pitcher out there has a pretty good idea of what they might do.
Yep.
Knows the team's struggling offensively. He's got a guy on base that can run a little bit. 2 outs, try to get him into scoring position. If you do throw him out or pick him off, they got the leadoff hitter starting off the inning.
How about that pitch right there?
Phil,
I mean, that's nasty.
That ball's boring down, to John Jaso. That's a fastball coming down and in, which we've seen it a million times. Left-handers typically tee off on that pitch. Boy, you start the swing, the break on that slider is very late, and by the time you start your swing, you just can't hold up. The ball disappears.
And a chop to second for Kendrick. The throw to first. The Rays get a base hit and leave the man. We are at the end of 3. It's 1-0 Los Angeles. for this afternoon's trivia question presented by AT&T. The Rays have gone 607 games since a pitcher 30 or older has started a game. So who was that pitcher? I think I might know this one.
That was great.
All right, we go to the fourth, and Torrey Hunter is going to lead it off here for the Angels. Pitch inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Run, 2 hits for the Angels, no runs and 1 hit for the Rays. Cut the miss by Hunter. 1-1. Angels scored a run in the first, driven home by Bobby Abreu. Two and 1. Starting to get hungry.
Well, this thing's been sitting in front of me for about 3 hours. So
we're going to have to break that out.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm game.
We're going to do a little business with Todd, I think, coming up, but we'll have to get serious because we're looking a little fatigued over there. Keep your energy up here. Oh, that's a strike. Hunter thought he'd drawn the walk, and Jerry Davis says that's a strike. I think Sosa's not sure.
Now this fastball, if it was a strike, it's right at the bottom of the strike zone. Definitely on the plate. Right across the knees.
I'll tell you this, Mike Sosa over in the National League with the Dodgers caught a lot of those.
Yes.
Right there were strikes. Swing and a miss on that slow breaking ball. And Hunter's out on strikes. 1 away. Hey, let's check in with Todd.
Dwayne, you won't believe some of the questions we've had from Germany, France, Scotland, and England so far in the first 3 innings of this game. This one actually comes from Florida. A couple of them from Florida.
Wow.
Fred wants to know if starters for the Rays are feeling pressure to go deeper with some question marks in the bullpen. And Paul wants to know how you think the bullpen's been so far, guys.
Right. Well, does that mean that we're going to have to hire interpreters that speak German and French and all of that?
I'm of no help.
How is that?
That much I can assure you.
What strike the count on Vernon Wells? I don't know what you think about that, the question, Brian, but I think number one, these starters, whether they had the greatest bullpen in the world or one that's not so good and all of those in between, I think those starters want to go as deep into games as they can absolutely get.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. I would tell you, and another good breaking ball there by Jeremy Hellickson down and off the plate, picking up another strikeout.
Wow, that's 8 strikeouts for Hellickson now.
Well, he's been so good at spotting that fastball that you throw that breaking ball to the outside corner. It's got that good tight spin on it. You have to respect it, the fastball, and
it's a career high for Hellickson. He had 7 in a game against Oakland.
Dwayne, when I look at the starting pitchers and what they're trying to do.
There's Cayaspo hitting a high fly ball to deep right, and that one's going to get out of here. Well, he tried the fastball, and Cayaspo jumped on it, and now it's 2-0. So Cayaspo hits his second home run of the year.
Now, nothing special about this, just a fastball that you see is right down the middle. Jaso wants that ball in the outer half, outer third. That ball creeps back to the middle, and Cayaspo puts a good swing on it. And that's why fastball command with Jeremy Hellickson is so important. He's not a guy that's just going to blow you away with pure stuff. So he's got to be able to throw to the outer third. But no, I think, Dwayne, as far as the starting staff goes, the danger for me lies in if the offensive struggles continue. Now all of a sudden you feel like you have to do too much. You feel like any run that you give up, that's the ball game. So you start pitching a little bit different, whether you admit it or not, subconscious or not. You go out there and say, I can't give up any more than a run or I'm going to lose this ball game, and that
Yeah,
is
so
what
you
I'm
try
afraid
to make
of.
the perfect pitch.
Absolutely.
You try to strike everybody out. You
Absolutely.
try to do all of those things. That, you know, it's like hitters trying to hit a 5-run home run.
Yep.
You're just not going to do it. Trumbo punches one into center field, and that falls in for a base hit. So an 0-2 pitch, and Trumbo has his first base hit.
And Trumbo did a nice job of pulling his hands in there. Hellickson trying to close him out in. He just pulled his hands in and just poked that ball. He's a strong kid. You see the hands close to the body. He's able to get enough of it and poke that ball out into center field.
Hellickson had a couple games last year in which he struck out 7, one against the Tigers and one against Oakland. And he has 8 strikeouts now. Jeff Mathis takes a strike. That game in August against the Tigers when he struck out 7 is when he retired 18 straight at a stretch in that. The liner that's going to one hop back off that 315 marker. Fold a nice job of playing the carom. It's going to be a double. Trumbo goes to third. So it's second and third with 2 outs. A home run, single, and double now for the Angels here.
Well, Jeremy Hellickson, last couple hitters here, the fastball command has kind of deserted him. Here's another one right down the middle. I mean, that's just easy hitting. 88, 90 miles an hour, splitting the plate. And Sam Fuld, nice job of getting there quick and getting rid of that ball in a hurry. 2 outs, Trumbo running. Not the best of speed, but a good play out there by Fuld to get it in and keep him to third.
So now Brandon Wood. Cut the miss. It's a strike.
Brandon Wood saw that as a fastball middle in. He got the front hip out of there, and all of a sudden it's breaking away from him.
Two. Breaking ball, change up. 2 strikes. He tries the breaking ball. It's wide. He checked 1 and 2. Angels come in 2 and 3. The Rays 0 and 4. And a swing and a miss. Wood chased that one. 9 strikeouts for Hellickson. 2-0 Angels. and by your local Southern Ford dealers. On to the bottom of the fourth inning. With Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats with you. It's great to have you looking in this afternoon. Johnny Damon leads it off. Shortens on the bat. Draws Cayaspo even a little closer. Pitches a ball. 1-0. 2-0. Heron is just another string of outstanding starters the Rays have seen. And so it's really difficult to try to figure out. I mean, the question is, well, is the offense this bad? Is the pitching we've been seeing just this good? And I'll tell you, we have witnessed some very good starting pitching on this homestand. We've seen the Rays overall pretty good pitching, and the opposition we've seen with great efforts. Still 2-2 here to Johnny Damon. How about this for a matchup? 5 strikeouts, no walks for Heron. He's given the Rays 1 hit. Hellickson 9 strikeouts and a walk through 4 innings and a couple runs. Damon shoots it foul. The count still 2-2. A pop foul, that's going to be out of play. Damon fouls this one. Johnny Damon giving Heron a battle here. Damon came in hitting just under 290 lifetime against him. So this will be at least a 9-pitch at bat. Now it's going to be at least a 10-pitch at bat. Full count.
And Dan Heron wanted that pitch. That looked like a good fastball.
Yeah, you can tell by Heron when he got the return throw from his catcher Mathis. He wasn't happy. Well, look at that on the box track. Jerry Davis right again. So he keeps it going. Another 3-2 pitch must be made. Another foul ball. So we're going to go to at least a dozen pitches here in this at bat for Johnny Damon. A bouncing ball down to Trumbo, the first baseman, who makes the play unassisted. A 12-pitch at bat. And one away. Well, it's time to get the answer to our trivia question. I think it's Jay So. 607 games since a pitcher 30 or older started a game. Jay So. That was on his 30th birthday. That must be why I remember it. There was such a great celebration on May the 24th, 2007. Pitch is a strike. Now that's Jay So as opposed to John Jason.
And here I thought went back and became a catcher.
So Kendrick takes care of that roller off the bat as Zobrist, 2 outs. Yeah, I think our producer Kevin Patterson right on top of that with his line with 6 runs in 5 innings, and he got the win. Well, that's your birthday.
Yeah, you don't get too many of those.
The strike to Dan Johnson. 6 earnings and 1 unearned, so 7 runs total. One and 1 to count to Johnson. Two balls and a strike. Johnson lifts a high, towering fly ball. Not very deep, though, and Wells in center field makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We head into the 5th. 2-0 Angels. Angels lead the Rays, and my partner is getting hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure that he is well fed and nourished and energetic, and you can go the distance because we have this meal ready to eat for you, and we're going to fire it up for you. I know that you skipped breakfast, so it's a cheese and veggie omelet, and we're going to go right down the wire here. It's going to take a little while for it to get heated up, but we have everything we have in that one pouch right there for you to have a hot meal.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You've been holding out on me all morning.
1 strike to count to my Sirius Stouris as he leads it off. Well, here you go. You take this box.
Okay.
Keep that box because that box is going to be essentially your oven.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, so keep that, and then here's your meal.
Oh, awesome.
Enjoy.
Is there any utensils?
And we're going to take. Oh, yeah, there's utensils, and you get everything in there. There's a pop-up, and Zobrist takes care of that. I mean, here you go. We're going to take this, and this will be, we got to put a little water in here. Not much. Right down at the end.
Is this safe?
That's all you need.
Dwayne, is this safe?
Here, you hold it. Put this right here.
You tell me
just a little water. Good. I think you're good. I think you're going to be good. We drop this down in here. Oh yeah. See that? You put that. Here you are. Just like this.
Boom. Slide it in.
Slide that in right here. together. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, no, wait. This goes inside. We got to put this inside. So we put that right there. Things I do to feed my partner. All the way down. That's Howie Kendrick. Hey, they're going to get Kendrick out on a 1-1 pitch. A fly ball to center. 2 gone. Let's check in with Todd real quick here.
Well, Dwayne, on this website Wednesday, we've added the Netherlands as another great country that's watching us around the world. And Zach of Clearwater, when he was deployed, he said when the troops opened up those boxes of MREs, he said that the veggie omelet was always the last one left.
Well, that was the one that was left, and I grabbed it for Brian yesterday.
So there you go.
But see, that's why Dwayne's been holding out on me so long. I'll eat anything at this point.
So there you are. We're going to let it just rest here for a couple of minutes, about a minute there, and then we're going to have it go upright, lean it back a little bit, and it'll take about 10 or 15 minutes, and it'll be hot and delicious. So I can't wait.
Neither can I.
I'll be Abreu. 1-1 to count. I mean, you could feel that getting hot. Your oven's hot, right?
Yes, it is.
Feel that?
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll take care of that. We'll set you up with some silverware. We have some salsa to go with it.
Dwayne, I smell a cooking show in your future.
Hey, if this doesn't work out, maybe the two of us could,
right. A little variety show.
Yeah.
One of the
2-1. There are people taking odds that it won't work,
And verbalizing them to us.
Pitch is down. 3-1. I really don't think we have to wait even 10 or 15 minutes, but I want to make sure that it's as delicious as it could be for you, because you deserve it.
Are we sure this is even a legitimate MRE? What are you feeding me?
And there is ball 4. Abreu's on for the second time. Second walk issued by Hellickson. Hey, they know what this is all about. There they are. They wave and we salute those guys. And believe me, they know what this is. Oh, yeah. It's really heating up. Corey Hunter in the batter's box. Somewhere in the bottom of the 5th inning, Brian will be having a wonderful omelet, augmented by salsa verde.
Dwayne, you're way too excited for this. I'm beginning to wonder that this whole thing, what am I being set up for?
No, it's good.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Abreu, the runner. Angels scored a run in the first when Abreu doubled home Kendrick. Callaspo hit the home run in the 4th inning. And the first pitch to Hunter was a fastball for a strike. You know, this afternoon has turned out to be an internationally interactive telecast. Todd's getting reviews from the Netherlands on what we have cooking here.
Germany.
Yeah.
You name it.
On the count, and a nice stop by Jaso. Now we've turned the oven to about a 45-degree angle just so that it's leaning upright. And it's only a matter of time now.
If you don't get a cooking segment somewhere, there's something wrong.
Yeah, you see, it'll be at this angle just like this, only it'll be turned this way. You can handle it different ways, and it doesn't adversely affect the result.
Well, I mean, these are 4 out in the field.
They are. This one is down, 2-1. You know, while we're waiting and doing the game, this thing is really jam-packed. I mean, you have dessert in here, anything from chocolate chip cookies, and these things could last 10 or 20 years in these packets. How about that? You know, here's some. You want some cappuccino? Fridge vanilla cappuccino, instant powder, granola. Save that for tomorrow morning.
Milk and blueberries, with milk and blueberries, already in.
Cinnamon scone. Runner takes off, a wave and a miss, and a stolen base. Apple butter, if you'd like that. Crackers.
It's quite the setup.
Yep. Some chewing gum if you need a chiclet. So we had the pleasure, really the privilege and the pleasure of being at MacDill yesterday, and so we shared lunch. We all had lunch together, and we had the review earlier from Sugar Bear Bobby Ramos, who said that it was very good. Some hand-to-hand combat demonstrations. Those come in handy in the booth sometimes. 2-2 the count now to Torrey Hunter. And the pitch popped up right side. Johnson makes the catch at first, just a step into foul territory. Man left on base, and the food will be ready momentarily. Abreu scoring Howie Kendrick, and in the 4th inning, Alberto Callaspo hit a home run off a fastball. Meanwhile, Dan Herron has been pretty much Dan Herron. Very good with a variety of pitches and changing speed, so it's a great pitching matchup. And B.J. Upton will open the bottom of the 5th inning here against Herron. And hits one high and deep to left. That ball's going to get out of here. Gone. Home run. Upton on a first pitch fastball gets his 2nd home run of the year, and the Rays are on the board. That makes it 2-1.
Now we've seen B.J. times in this early part of the season get aggressive on the first pitch, and here he does again. Gets a mistake fastball. B.J. with the long arms, good extension. When he gets extended, he's got good power. He hit a 2-run home run last night, is now hitting 5 straight games to start this young season.
Matt Joyce, the pitch is down. Yeah, he hit the fastball out last night and jumped on the first pitch here this afternoon and put one in the seats and left. And a line drive, but caught by Trumbo at first base. In the game today and all season long, Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. So that'll add to that total, courtesy of B.J. Upton's home run to left. Here's Felipe Lopez. That's a strike. Lopez caught looking his first time. One of 5 strikeouts posted by Dan Herron. 0-2, and boy, you talk about some late action on that pitch. Wow. One ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Felipe Lopez. He just joined the ball club with Evan Longoria going to the disabled list. Two and 2. The Rays now have hit 4 home runs on the year. DJ with 2 of them. Pitch in a bit as Lopez pops it up foul. That's going to carry out a play. Back and just to the right.
Well, Dan Herron continued with that mix of pitches. One after the other, one different from the next. One cuts in on the hands of Lopez.
Ground ball handled by Kendrick. Is tossed to first. So following the home run by Upton, a hard line drive to first by Joyce, and then the ground ball off the bat of Lopez. Hitter is going to be Reed Brignac. Reed struck out his first time on a great split from Herron. Strike one. Well, I'll tell you, he has such great movement on all of his pitches, even his fastball. We saw Lopez try to just really swat at a fastball during his at bat, the early stages of that at bat.
Yeah, he's able to, whether you're a right-handed hitter or a left-handed hitter, he's got pitches that move in on you and away from you, and change of speeds. And you combine that with good command, a good feel for pitching. It's no wonder this guy, well over 200 innings year in and year out.
Brignac just staying alive.
Well,
there.
And you've seen that this entire afternoon. Just so many defensive swings, not very aggressive, and they're putting, the Rays hitters have been putting counts where they, right there, you just see Reed just swatting at that pitch, just trying to flip it, foul it off. That's not an aggressive drive the ball kind of a swing.
Inside, it's 1 and 2.
Another tight one in here on the lefty, just off.
Ground ball to second. Kendrick has this one and makes the play. A run on the home run by B.J. Upton. So the Rays are on the board. B.J. hit the first pitch of the inning out of here. Now the Rays trail 2-1. He's on the board. It's time for Brian Anderson's breakfast. Brian, it's all yours.
Should I do the honors?
Yeah, sure. Just take that out.
All right.
And you should be able just to take your meal right out of the inner oven. And you can see right here.
Yeah, I'm going to cut this end.
Okay, you cut whatever end you want to cut. You know, I think it's supposed to be the other one, but you can just do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, D-Wayne, I didn't go to I didn't take the class on these meals, so.
Vernon Wells leads it off, and right here is your silverware. Just pull that, and if you'd like salsa, we have that available for you as well.
Yeah, these are ready to eat.
They are.
I'll tell you that much.
Foul up the left side by Wells. It's 1 and 2.
You know what? I'm going to go without the salsa.
Without the salsa. All right, and you can
and just spoon it out.
You can pull that down if you wish, and make it into a little bowl.
Here we go. It's definitely food.
And Wells is out on strikes. That's strikeout number 10 for Hellickson. Third time he has gotten Wells. He got him on a changeup. So that's the first out here in the 6th. So what do you think?
I think, yeah, it
will sustain you.
It will sustain you. Yes.
And
that's without the salsa.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's
salsa to anything is going to spice it up.
Sure. Pitch to Callaspo is low, or that's a strike, I guess, around the knees. So, did you feel the heat?
I did feel the heat.
There you go.
I did feel the heat, D-Wayne. That's amazing. You can do that.
All you do is add water to heat it.
Yeah, I just picked it up to read it. It's still hot. Still feeling the heat.
Yeah, there you are. Well, I just wanted to make sure you could get the telecast.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, this has been going on. We've been talking about it since last night, and I'm glad we finally got to it, and with all the other stuff to go along with it.
It's a full meal.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, there's no question about it. You try to polish off one of these entire packets, you've got plenty to handle.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Dwayne.
No problem.
And thanks to everybody at McDill.
Yep, they're great.
For allowing you to get one out of there.
Count is 2-2. And for our flight to Chicago tonight, I've got you all set there, too.
Gee, thanks.
One out with the bases empty. We're in the 6th inning. And a wide variety of meals ready to eat on that menu. Long shot. Is it going to be fair or foul? That's a foul ball. So Callaspo making a bid for his 2nd home run. Well, there you are. You can save those for a snack later. Do whatever you want. Just want to make sure that you're okay.
Well, I appreciate that. Looking out.
Were the guys from the Netherlands right when they said that when they were deployed, this was the last one to go?
I'm not going to argue with them. I am not going to argue with them.
Full count. Fly ball right field. Joyce is there. Changeup takes care of him. And speaking of going to Chicago, it's time to look at the upcoming race schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Take on the White Sox tomorrow. It'll be their home opener. And that's 2:10 first pitch, I think. So we'll be with you at 2 o'clock. And then on to Boston as we look forward to the upcoming race schedule. You can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. And a strike by Trumbo. Hellickson up here in the mid 90s in pitch count now.
You'd like to see him get this last hitter here, and that was probably going to end his day. Joe Madden hoping to get between 90 and 100 pitches out of Hellickson, and he's already there.
1-1 to count. There's a breakdown to this point on Hellickson, 98. The liner into left, one hop. Fold is there to make the pickup. So Trumbo has his second hit. And Joe Madden pops out of that dugout. He's had some action down there in the bullpen, and with the pitch count being what it is right here, that's going to be it for Jeremy Hellickson. He'll depart, 2 outs into the 6th. Back in a moment. Have some more of the omelet. His performance.
For the most part, Jeremy Hellickson, very good command, change at speeds. Racked up a lot of strikeouts, made a couple of mistakes, but you out there throwing 100 pitches, you're going to do that. Jeremy Hellickson did the ball very well.
A lot of first pitch strikes.
In fact,
giving up a couple of runs on 6 hits.
Yeah, the 10 strikeouts, 5 2/3, and boy, if I'm Jeremy Hellickson, I'm upset too. I want to still be out there. I mean, this is a guy who's dealt all afternoon. He's in a position. He gives up a hit, to Mark Trumbo with 2 outs. He's got the 8 and 9 hole hitters coming up. You want to be able to get out of this inning yourself and at least give yourself a chance to pick up a win. Right now you come out of the ball game. You've thrown a good one, and you only have a chance to lose the game. You want to be able to fight your way through that inning. And look, there's 2 outs, 8 and 9 hole hitters. I've thrown the ball well all day. Let me get out of this inning so that I have a chance to pick up a win. And instead, he's sitting on the bench, and
Adam Russell is in the game.
That's right.
2 strikes to count to Mathis. And the pitch is up.
You just as a starting pitcher, you're competitive. Jeremy Hellickson's a competitive guy. You want the opportunity to finish that inning yourself. And then if my night's done, my day's done, it's done. But let me get out of it. Now, if it's a leadoff single, it's a different story.
Runner takes off. The pitch is down. And now Trumbo steals second. Russell not paying much attention to him, and he steals a base.
Yeah, wrong team to not pay attention. I don't care who's on the bag. Mark, Trumbo, you don't think of him being a base stealer, but this is the Angels. Mike Scioscia, very aggressive.
Fly ball in the right. Joyce will have to go back, and he cannot corral it. Ball off his glove. The run will score, and into second base goes Mathis. So the run scores to make it a 2-run game again. It's 3-1. And Mathis will get a double out of that. Although if you get there, you'd like to see it corral.
Yeah, he stayed on that slider, got some backspin on it, so it got that good carry. And Matt Joyce going back, tries over the shoulder. That's a tough catch, but boy, oh boy, when that ball hits leather, you stay on your feet, you expect to catch it, and this one just comes off. You see it kind of comes over, you lose sight of it for a second, and it's off the thumb of the glove.
Strike the count to Brandon Wood.
Boy, that's been the story of the Rays season here so far, just a little off.
2 strikes the count, and it's now 3-1. Cut the miss. Wood is out on strikes to retire the side, but the Angels add a run and they lead 3-1.
Inning as we continue with our website Wednesday, and guys around the world, people continue to flood our website Wednesday information line with Romania now watching, Northern Ireland, Croatia, Slovakia. Keiko Fukuyama is watching in Japan at 3:51 in the morning. David Price's high school basketball teammate deployed in Germany, Greg Johnson's watching. Also Oman, Austria, and Bolivia, all watching Rays baseball. The question from David is, Hellickson was the 6th starter last year for the Rays when they needed somebody for an injury. Who would that guy be this year, guys?
All right, Sam Fuld with a base hit up the right side and back beyond the bullpen. Extra bases coming for Sam. He's got a chance, made the turn at second, but plays it safe and stops with a double. For a moment, thought he might try to go to third, but he'll settle for 2 bases. He's 2 for 2.
And the Rays finally, with a leadoff man on, gets a fastball coming back out over the plate. Look at that short, quick swing. Hits that ball, is able to keep it fair. Few feet fair. Sam Fuld, good speed. Into second base with a double, and that has plagued the Rays in the early part of this season. Just whenever they get a runner on base, seems like always with 2 outs. Now you've got a runner on in scoring position, and nobody out.
Top of the order coming up. Here's John Jaso. Pitch is a strike around the knees. Breaking ball. A little close. 1-1. Pitch a bit close as well. 2 balls and a strike. Well, that double by Sam Fuld to set up the scoring opportunity, and we focused on that. I want to get back to the question about the depth of the Rays rotation and who would be starter number 6. Hellickson was to a point last year. It's 3-1. And really, it'd have to be Andy Sonnenstein.
Yeah, I don't see any other options that are big league ready right now. So definitely the short answer is Andy Sonnenstein. He can fill in, and he's been a starter before, just a couple years removed from 14 wins. There you go, 76 starts. So he would be the guy I think that you would turn to if you needed a spot start or someone to fill in. Past that, it seems like the guys that
Jason sends a fly ball to left, and Abreu's there to make the catch for the first out. Yeah, the couple of big prospects for the Rays will be at AA, Matt Moore and Chris Archer, who came over in the Garza deal. And they like the left-hander Alex Torres they got from the Angels in the Kazmir deal. They just like him to sharpen up his command a bit. But I think they project big league time for him. But again, you have to do the things that allow you to be successful before they want to make the move with any of those prospects.
A little bit more seasoning.
1-0 to Johnny Damon. Damon had the extended at bat, a 12-pitch at bat in the 4th inning, before he finally grounded out to first. And a little pop-up right side. Pitch got in on him, and Kendrick takes care of it. Cutter.
Yeah, and that's the pitch that, boy, it's as effective as a changeup. You know, they call the changeup the great equalizer. I'll tell you, if you've got a good cutter, you throw that pitch out over the plate. Johnny Damon sees that ball elevated, wants to go out and get it. Just a little bit of break right at the end, and you see it doesn't take much for that ball to get off the barrel of the bat to get down more towards the label. Takes all of the sting out of it and just becomes an easy pop-up.
Well, there goes Sproul headed to third, and he'll get in there without a throw. Zobrist took the pitch for a ball, and so the offensive weapon outside of Upton's home run for the Rays has been Sam Fole today.
There he goes. He gets a good jump.
A steal of third. Now the count's 1-1 to Zobrist. Have a run, 3 hits, and no walks issued by Herron. Two and one. Zobrist taps it foul. Ben has struck out and grounded out, and he's had quite a few at-bats against Herron and only 1 hit. He's 1 for 16 off him lifetime right now.
Well, we'll see right here if Dan Herron has trust in Jeff Mathis to go to that split finger with a runner on third. Trying to get the strikeout.
And a tap by the mound. Herron now on his way to first. He gets over there in time to take the peg, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, the man left through 6, 3-1. Look at the home defense doing more on defense. Ball got by Heron, but he got over there to take the toss from his first baseman, Trumbo.
Well, that's exactly what you're taught. You go after that ball as hard as you can, as long as it's on a straight line to first base. And once it gets by you, you continue to first base. And something, boy, you wonder what happened there, because you see the mannerisms, the arm action of Dan Heron with that shoulder. He's at least throwing the arm around.
Cesar Ramos out here on the hill, and Heron got to the dugout. Mike Butcher and Mike Socha went over to take a look at him, and he said he was okay. He looked better in the dugout than he did immediately after that play. That's a foul ball up the right side by Asturias. A fastball off the lefty Ramos. 2 strikes the count. Ramos, pitcher number 3. Hellickson worked 5 2/3. Followed by Adam Russell. And now Cesar Ramos. Ball, 2 strikes. Howie Kendrick and Bobby Abreu due to follow. The Rays missed an opportunity in the bottom of the 6th after the leadoff double by Sam Fuld. Two and 2. With 10 strikeouts today for Hellickson. Peralta still busy in the bullpen. Among the top strikeout performances of the early season, Garza had 12 the other day for the Cubs. Cliff Lee had 11. And now Hellickson with 10. Off speed and a wave and a miss. Change up on the breaking ball there.
Well, that was a nice pitch by Ramos. Go with a curveball, a little 12-6 breaker on the outside corner. Well, that is nice. Good placement, good speed, great break.
Howie Kendrick, nothing of 2 with a walk and a run scored.
You know, this is almost another guy that if you could find a way to stretch him out, you could almost start him. He's done a little bit of everything over his career. He's been in the bullpen. He's started. Another option. He's got 3 pitches. The problem with that would be to be able to get his pitch count to a place where he would be able to go out and give you 5, 6, 7 innings.
Two balls and a strike. Ramos, 26 years old. Made 14 appearances with the Padres last year, all out of the bullpen, but half of his appearances at Portland were starts. 15 starts and 15 relief appearances. And he walks in. Howie Kendrick goes to first.
Now experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club. Offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas, the Whitney Bank Club features an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to raysbaseball.com to purchase tickets or for more information.
Well, Abreu, the left-handed hitting outfielder up here. So Ramos will face him. Hunter's on deck and Peralta's in the bullpen. It's low. A fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. So Cesar Ramos came over along with Adam Russell and Brandon Gomes, right-hander in the Bartlett deal. Down to second, Zobrist, Brignac, and over to Johnson. The 4-6-3 double play. Ramos gets the double play ball from Abreu. 7th inning stretch time at the park. It's 3-1 Angels. Moving on to the bottom of the 7th inning, Dan Johnson leads off and takes the first pitch away. Facing Dan Herron. The Rays had their one run. That was the home run by Upton. 1-1 the count to Johnson.
And really, like you said, you talked about it a little bit earlier, Dwayne, missed an opportunity. That last inning, the leadoff double in a close ball game. You've got to find a way to get that runner in. Cannot give up those opportunities, especially when they're so few and far between.
Herron's allowed only 3 hits. He's walked no one. Two and 2 the count. And he also gives you not only all of the pitches he throws, but his delivery is pretty deliberate, and then he's on you.
Yeah, well, it's the same as Jeremy Hellickson. We talked about it a little earlier. They're so deliberate, smooth, and then boom, explosion at the end. So they don't need to be 95, 96 miles an hour, and the ball just kind of jumps on you, and especially when they've got good off-speed pitches with good arm action and are willing to throw any pitch in any count, always keeping the hitter on the defensive.
Now it's still 2 and 2, and you can see that pitch cutting in on Johnson.
It's a constant battle. If you fall behind in the counter, you get to 2 strikes on Dan Herron, just constantly trying to fight off pitches and hope he makes a mistake.
And not that time. Johnson out on strikes.
Well, it's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide, compliments of Scott's. It's that time of year.
Opening day everywhere. B.J. Upton. B.J. 1 for 2. Fouls this one off the end of the bat. It's a strike. sends it deep to left field. Wells is back there, though, and on the track makes the catch. So BJ made a bid there, trying to get one deep enough, but just to the track.
He just got out in front on this one. He got a pitch he could handle just off the end of the bat. Yeah, well, that face right there tells you he knows I just got that off the end. He knew it when the ball left the bat. You're hoping, but the right trajectory, the right swing, wrong part of the bat.
We saw a shot of J.P. Howell in there. It's Matt Joyce taking the pitch down. That's the 100th pitch for Aaron. J.P. threw on the side again today. He threw, I think it was Sunday, and then today about 35 pitches or so. He came away from Sunday feeling pretty good. High pop-up down the line third, and that ball caught by Cayaspo to retire the side. Little pop foul. We go to the 8th. 3-1 Angels.
Here in the top of the 8th. Well, hey, get this. For the first time ever, the Florida Orange and Blue Spring Football game brought to you by Scott's will air live on Sun Sports. Tune in Saturday at noon to see the Florida Gators battle it out on the gridiron in the final spring practice this season. For more on Gator Spring Football, log on to foxsportsflorida.com.
Joel Peralta's going to enter the game now.
Does
yes?
football ever end?
No.
It doesn't.
No. Corey Hunter takes a big cut. Strike one.
Well, Joel Peralta, this is his 3rd appearance this season, and he has picked up right where he left off last season with the Nationals, continuing to have a couple of dominant performances for the Rays so far.
Well, you have to like his demeanor out there on the mound.
Oh, yeah, really the guys that have come in out of the bullpen, their mental makeup, you like what you see out there, the way they carry themselves. Joel Peralta, one of those guys who's got some years under his belt, had some success last year, continues to throw the ball well. But you're right, focused strike throwers. This guy last year, I think it was 49 innings. I think he walked 9 guys, and 4 or 5 of them were intentional. I mean, he comes out of the bullpen firing quality strikes. That's exactly what you need.
And at the end of the season, he just wasn't walking anybody compared to that strikeout ratio.
Yeah, it was, I think, 49 to 9, somewhere in that range. Like I said, half those walks were intentional.
1-2 the count to Hunter. Yeah, after the 5th of August, he had 31 strikeouts and 4 walks. And a swing and a miss by Hunter. It's 13 strikeouts by Rays pitching. And here is Todd Cowles.
Dwayne, let's add Macedonia, Hungary, Norway, Brazil, Sweden, and Switzerland to the where in the world are
I hope
Dwayne
you're
and Brian
writing all of these down.
Oh, I've got them all right.
All right, yeah.
It's documented. Hey, Bill wants to know, when the Rays finally get a save opportunity, who do you guys think is going to be the man to get the ball in the ninth inning? Back to you.
You know how Bill, you know how Joe Madden would answer that? He goes, it depends on the situation and the guy. And that's just true.
I think what Bill's really getting at, the heart of the matter, is he's starting up a poll. He's starting a little, starting a little contest. Throw the name in. Who do you think would be the first guy?
Well, you know, Peralta could close a game.
Exactly.
Farnsworth could close a game. There's some guys out there that he could go to.
I would think that those would be your top two right off the bat. If given his druthers, that you would narrow it down between Peralta and Farnsworth. And then, like you said, Wayne, it's going to depend on the matchups. It's going to depend on the usage, who was used, when, how many days in a row, who's coming to the plate. It's going to be some interesting decisions that Joe has to make.
Tap third. Lopez, low throw, and Johnson cannot scoop that one. So as the throw lost steam, Johnson could not scoop it, and that will be an error charge to Lopez.
Well, right here, Taylor made nice bounce up. He's got his feet underneath him, just doesn't get enough on the throw. That's a tough scoop here. Not able to squeeze it, just up into the heel of the glove, and he loses control. You just don't want to give a team extra chances. You're struggling offensively. You need to pick up every out you can. Can't afford to fall further behind. And
now it's Callaspo taking a big cut, fouling it back out of play. So that's a strike.
You start giving the team extra outs, you increase the likelihood of that happening.
Hunter struck out. Wells reaching on the error. It's the first error of the game. The count is a ball and a strike. The Angels had their 3 runs on 7 hits, and they've had runners on base in every inning except the second. It's now 2-1. And we'll be with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. David Price against the former Ray, Edwin Jackson. The Rays and the White Sox, and the White Sox home opener. Two-one count. Out and in, 3 balls and a strike. I seem to remember that the last time we were in Chicago, it was a bit cool. Did you not have a coat then?
I did not have a coat.
You actually have one this time?
The coat that I had was a Showtime coat. Looks nice, doesn't keep you warm. Well, I was miserable that trip. Yes, I did bring a coat. I brought a big one. I brought a Cleveland coat.
Really?
Yeah, thick.
Okay. Good.
Just in case. I know how you love the open air booth.
Runner takes off, and a line drive, base hit into right. Joyce up with it, and over to third base goes Wells. So the Angels trying to take advantage of the Rays' error, and Callaspo, who swings a good bat anyway, has himself a 2-hit day. Jim Hickey is going to head to the mound. The Rays get some action in the bullpen. And Mark Trumbo is due up. They'd be a part of all the fun and excitement of Rays baseball this year with your family, friends, and coworkers. 2011 group party areas and suites are available now. Reserve your exclusive area by calling 888-FAN-RAYS or visiting RaysBaseball.com. Always more fun in a group at the ballpark. Jake McGee has started to throw down in the right field bullpen. You know, he's the one guy, we've talked about it briefly before, but this young left-hander, you know, if he would emerge as the closer, you could really slot guys in, and you might not have to play matchup so much all the way in terms of who's going to close from day to day. And he'd love to do that. He'd love to grab that spot.
Well, it's open. They're open auditions. You get to the point where Joe Madden trusts you. You know, the key with Jake McGee is the approach. The approach every single night has to be the same. You know, you look around the league and you look at closers who are successful, you know what you're going to get out of them every single night. And that's what Jake McGee has to do. And if he's able to prove that to Joe and bring that every day, he certainly has the chance to ultimately become a guy in that role.
2-0 the count to Trumbo. Three 8-0 for the Angels, 1-3-1 for the Rays. A long foul, well foul. And about in front of a breaking ball.
Like to positively think of those as a long strike.
That's it.
Don't try to go and get another one with the same pitch.
That's right. Because he might not be out in front of that one so much.
Right.
Vernon Wells at third. Alberto Callaspo at first. And a fastball. 2-2. Angels jumped out in front with a run in the first. They added a run in the fourth. The Rays got a run in the fifth. And the Angels another run in the sixth inning. Now the count is full. Trumbo, Angels minor league player of the year last year. He had 36 home runs in the minor leagues. Fouls it back. Hit 301. It's in the Pacific Coast League. And in fact, he led all of minor league baseball in home runs last year. In 2004, he's from Anaheim. He's playing for the hometown team. And he shoots it into right field. There's a base hit. That will score Wells. Up to second base goes Callaspo. That's a 3-hit day for Mark Trumbo.
I was going to say, Dwayne, he's impressive with his power numbers, but boys, he had a nice day today with quality at bats. That's a tough pitch right there. That's a full count fastball, knee high in the outside corner. Just leans out there, peppers that ball into right field. That drives in another angel run. He hit that ball in the first at bat, that high towering fly ball to left field. Thought maybe it was going to get out of the yard, that Fold was able to catch, and then after that did a nice job pulling his hands in, shooting the ball to center field. He's had some really good at bats, good approach.
Well, the Angels make it 4-1. Mathis looks at a strike. He has 2 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 for 3 with a run batted in. The fastball is fouled back. Mathis out of Marietta, Florida. Spent most of his playing time with the Angels last year, briefly in Salt Lake. Back at second, nobody covering. Osbo diving back in. Spent a good amount of time on the DL last year with a fracture in his right wrist. He's out on strikes. So Joe Madden emerges from the Rays dugout. He's going to make a pitching change here. It's it for Peralta, and we'll be back in a moment. So we can do big things. Joe Madden calls upon his 5th pitcher. It will be Jake McGee, the young lefty. He'll face Brandon Wood.
Jake McGee coming into his 3rd game for the Rays. No record, the ERA of 9. He's given up that home run to Brian Roberts that really blew a close game open. Looking to shut down the Angels right here.
Cut and a miss. Strike one.
A similar situation that he came in with Roberts. He got runners on base. Comes in blowing some heat.
Wood fouls it back. 0-2. Well, right now, the Rays staff has recorded 14 strikeouts in this game. Hellickson had 10 in 5 2/3. Russell 1, Ramos 1, Peralta a couple. And McGee is ahead of Wood, 2 strikes. Foul back. The Rays' team record for strikeouts is 17. First time they did that was in 1999. The last time was 07 against Baltimore. First time was against Oakland. One ball, 2 strikes. Wells has scored the run. He reached on an error. 2 men on, 2 men out. The 1-2. Wood fouled that pitch back. Fastball up. Hopefully good that was up out of the strike zone. 1-2 again. Down and in. 2-2. Double check that 17 strikeout performance in 07. That was against Boston and not Baltimore. Oakland and Boston victimized by the Rays staff with 17 strikeouts, but the Rays dropped both of those games. High popper, left side. Near the stands, Lopez runs out of room. So the count holds at 2-2. Game against Boston, Scott Kazmir had 9 strikeouts in 07. And there's a wave and a miss. That retires the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-1 Angels.
the day, and that is which Rays pitcher do you think is going to end up with the most wins in the 2011 season? You have the 5 starters to choose from. TB1, David Price. TB2, Shields. TB3, Davis. TB4, Neiman. TB5, Hellickson. Text your votes to 789-789. And guys, don't forget, in our Rays Live postgame show, as always, we will hear from Joe Madden, Laura McKeeman in the Rays clubhouse. Thoughts and analysis from Dwayne and Brian, and we'll answer another one of your many Website Wednesday questions. In fact, the most popular question today involved the AstroTurf, so we'll break it down in Foxmo for you after the game. Guys, back to you.
Well, let's see what the Rays can do in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're down 4-1, and Herron's been tough today. Felipe Lopez fouls the first pitch back, strike 1. Rays still looking for their first lead. They got down 1-0 and trail now 4-1. Lopez fouls it again. 2 strikes.
Look at that line. 3 hits in 7 innings, no walks. 6 strikeouts.
A roller to Kendrick. The second baseman makes the play.
You know, that's coming off Dan Herron's last start against the Royals, where he went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and didn't walk anybody.
Yep.
So you're 14 1/3 innings into the season, still has not given a free pass. You're able to limit base runners like that. Where do you put yourself and your team in a good position to win, much like he's done today?
Here's Reed Brignac. A liner, that's foul. And toward the bullpen where Andy Sonnenstein is loosening.
And that was another cutter by Dan Herron. Just enough movement, get that ball in enough, and Reed hooks it foul, doesn't quite hit it. Just a little bit. That's all it needs. I mean, the meat of the bat, not that wide.
Fly ball into short right. That's going to fall for a base hit. So Brignac is aboard for the first time.
That at bat, it works against him.
Yep.
That was the same pitch. He got it in just a little bit. Reed hit it good, but he didn't hit it square. So that ball kind of died out there in right field. Fell in for a hit. That ball gets in. He had just seen that previously, able to keep this one fair. The ball dies out at the end, and Reed picks up a base hit.
Well, Sam Fuld is 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. Takes a look at a strike. Rays with 4 hits, and Sam has 2 of them.
All right, Sam! Get it going now! Come on, Sam!
One and one. Oh, a good contact guy. Good eye. Fouls it back. Fastball. It's 1 and 2.
He's one of those guys that you trust to put up a good at bat. Not the type to go up there and just giving away an at bat. Limited playing time. He wants to do well. And you're right, Dwayne. He's got a good eye, a danger on the base paths. He's gonna battle you, fight you every pitch.
And a little tap back to the mound. Herron, the second one. First base not in time for the double play. They force Brignac back to the shortstop Wood. So 1-6.
How's this ball tracking away from him? He has to reach for it. Dan Herron knows he's got to hurry. Sam Fuld can run, and not even close at first.
So Manny Ramirez will come off the bench to pinch hit. Ramirez, as we discussed earlier, with very good lifetime numbers, 19 out of 38 against Herron. And Socha up and out of the dugout. He's headed to the mound. The Rays have folded first with 2 outs here in the 8th, and Ramirez has been announced as the pinch hitter. So that's going to be it for Herron. And with this pitching change, we'll break and be right back. Have a man on with 2 gone, and Dan Herron now out of the game after 110 pitches. Both starters have departed. Jeremy Hellickson pitched very well for the Rays, had 10 strikeouts, 2 outs into the 6th. Gave up, as it turns out, 3 runs. He left with a runner on, and he scored. And Herron 7 2/3 to this point, a run, 4 hits. Kevin Jepson is the new pitcher, and Manny Ramirez will pinch hit for Jaso. Pitch is too high.
You can see Kevin Jepson right there. He likes to drop down, drive the ball to the plate. Got a very good fastball. His 4th appearance. He's have a blown save and an 0-1 record.
He was in 68 games for the Angels last year. 2-4 with a 397 earned run average. And the fastball, Ramirez missed it. It's 1-1.
He just challenges him right here. Manny just a tick underneath it.
The Jepson can give you that mid-90s hard stuff.
Oh yeah, got a very good arm.
High with it. 2-1. And a 1 for 16 start for the Rays. He lifts a popper toward the line and right. Hunter coming on and will get there to make the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit. The man left. We go to the 9th. 4-1 Angels. Rays baseball today brought to you by AutoWay, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. We go to the ninth inning, and the Rays have a new battery. Andy Sonnenstein is on the hill, facing the top of the order. Ball, no strikes. Kelly Shopik behind the plate. Stores the DH, 1 for 4 on the day. There's a strike. And again, the Rays staff today with 15 strikeouts. The club record is 17. They've done that twice. 1 and 2, so they're to pick that up. Andy's going to have to get a couple strikeouts or strike out the side. Either equal or surpass that record. A little looper into center field, served out there for a base hit. Asturias has his second hit of the day.
A good hitting there by Asturias, down in the count, and he doesn't try to do too much. Takes a short little swing. Pretty good breaking ball right here by Sonnenstein, back door. He just goes down there and flips it out into center field. Got that leadoff man on board with some speed. Howie Kendrick, the Ray killer, at the plate.
Kendrick 0 for 2 with 2 walks. It's a strike. Scored a run in the first, doubled home by Abreu. High, 1-1. In those other 2 big strikeout games for the Rays staff, the starters had big strikeout games. Dan Wheeler struck out 12 in 1999 against Oakland. Kazmir struck out 9 against Boston in 07. And again today, Jeremy Pellickson with 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3 in this game. This one shot into center field. Runner's going to try to go to third. Throws cut off, and now they'll have Kendrick hung up between first and second in the rundown. They get him. And staying at third after advancing there is Asturias. So Kendrick with a base hit and cut down in the rundown between first and second.
A good cut there by Brignac to be able to get Kendrick, but here's the breaking ball, stays down middle of the plate. B.J. Upton keeps the throw firm and low. That allows Reed Brignac to cut that off. There's no play at third, but Howie Kendrick straying off of first. Rays pick up an easy out.
So the infield comes in with a man at third. This is Borges. Ball, no strikes. He's hitting in the spot originally occupied by Abreu. And Kendrick down. Upton, Brignac, Johnson to Zobrist. Two and 0, the Rays thinking the Angels might be up to something.
Well, Peter Borges has not been handling the bat all that well. You've got a fastball count. You've got a guy that can bunt to plate, a guy that can run down at third. Good idea.
And again, the Rays looking for that. That runs the count to 3-0. Well, that's Socha and Madden squaring off right there.
Yep, absolutely. Is what that is, because a guy that has been struggling swinging the bat, just hand him 2 balls there. Nothing's on. Like you said, now you're in a 3-0 count.
And ball 4. So Sonnenstein gives up the walk. It's 1st and 3rd now with Torrey Hunter due up. Rays hit the road immediately following this game. We'll be heading up to Chicago and then over to Boston. We'll be with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock when David Price goes to the mound for the Rays against Edwin Jackson in the White Sox home opener. It'll be 4 in Chicago and 3 in Boston. Boy, this is the big leagues. Things don't get any easier.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
You know, Johnny Damon made a great point being interviewed. He said, you know, that team on the other side of the field, they're trying to win too.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where it comes down to execution, because everybody that makes it to this level is a pretty good baseball player.
Well, in its simplest form, that's why it's so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, winning is hard. Well, here's Hunter with men at 1st and 3rd. Pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cut and a foul ball by Hunter. It's 1-1. Well, right now it's a 4-1 game, but the Angels threaten. Hunter lifetime 3 out of 7 against Andy. Ground ball through the right side. There's a base hit. The run scores. Stewart crosses the plate. Borges headed to 3rd. He's out there. Lopez put the tag on him. So Borges cut down. So that goes 9-5. Matt Joyce to Felipe Lopez as Hunter drives in a run to make it a 4-run game, 5-1.
Oh, Matt Joyce does have a good arm. He gets a strong throw low to Hopper. Good concentration there by Felipe Lopez to be able to come up with that 2-hopper and get the tag down there in the speedy Borges.
Here's Vernon Wells. Ground ball to 3rd. Lopez rights himself and goes down to 2nd for the force. That takes care of the Angels, but they tack on a run. Bottom of the 9th coming. 5-1 Los Angeles. Dan Herron works 7 2/3 for the Angels. Kevin Jepson Got the last out in the 8th, and now Jordan Walden will make his 5th appearance, and he has taken over as the closer, supplanting Fernando Rodney.
The Rays got a shot of him last night. He's got the big fastball. He really comes at you aggressively, pushing off that mound. There's a lot going on. He's a big kid with a big arm.
Johnny Damon. Pitch is low. Yeah, you got Rodriguez, Elliott Johnson, and then Lopez to end the game last night. Picking up his first save. High fly ball back into right toward the corner. Hunter is there, however, and makes the catch just on the edge of the AstroTurf. One out here in the bottom of the 9th. And Ben Zobrist has a strikeout and 2 ground balls, 0 for 3. No ball, no strikes. This one away. 2-1. Ground ball, backhanded stop by Trumbo. Walden covers, and Zobrist is out number 2. The Rays are down to their final out here with Dan Johnson.
Not an easy play. Trumbo going to his right. Almost overdives. Makes a nice play, a good feed, and Angels find themselves 1 out away.
Ball, no strikes. There's a shot down the right field line. That ball is foul, however. Count is 1-1. Dan got a double in his first at bat of the season Friday and has been hitless since then. Two and one. Pops it foul the other way. Miss. He's out on strikes, and this game is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Angels take both games of the 2-game set, winning last night 5-3, and this afternoon 5-1. Heron the win, and Hellickson suffers the loss in a 5-1 final before 11,836. We'll be with you tomorrow from Chicago. Our coverage begins at 2 o'clock on Sun Sports in high definition as the Rays begin a 7-game road trip. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. For Ron Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats saying so long. We'll see you next on the postgame.